All right. Shalom, Yashala. Call Allah Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. Waharaka Kodash Brakatam. I like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the select number of Akyam, pushing its truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And salutations to the select number of Akwat out there listening. What I'd like to get into is the reporter. I didn't get her name, but the Jake she's about to talk to is I believe a Democrat from South Carolina, and let me make sure. I believe he was a Democrat. So like Barry Bokosha. Yeah. Okay. He's a representative of the basically Jake is a politician, and he is from South Carolina. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So he's a Democrat as well. So basically what he's going into is, the stage that's really being set. And the stage that's being set is all through what? All through prophecy and all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. And the stage that's being set is really, segregation, man. And it ain't even low key. It's really high key, man. And you can feel it. Okay. That's why I have Isaiah 19 on deck. Okay, this is a excerpt from a PBS interview, and this clip is pretty good. I know, people like, this race thing. Look, man, it is what it is, man. It's always been one against the other. Okay, it's always gonna be a victor, and it's always gonna be a loser, man. Okay, point blank period. It's always gonna be the bad guy. It's always gonna be the good guy. You can't get away from it. Okay, but I'm gonna let the excerpt of this clip play, and then I'm gonna get some scriptures.
You write at one point in the book, the MAGA Republicans and their supporters who want to make America great again want to be remaking it in the image of the antebellum era. I just want to be clear. Are you saying you think they want to reinstate slavery?
No. They wish to get us back as close to slavery as they can possibly get us to without violating, because the constitutionally they can't do it. Jim Crow? Yes.
So you think they would reinstitute Jim Crow?
Absolutely. And I think the Supreme Court is well on the way to doing that. Remember, all of this started with a Supreme Court decision called Dred Scott. That's what defined and laid the foundation for all of this stuff. And then we got another case called Plessy versus Ferguson that's established separate and equal.
Well, and of course, the Supreme Court during Reconstruction overturned the Civil Rights Act.
Yes. The Supreme Court did. The Civil Rights Act was overturned by the United States Supreme Court. And what has just happened with the 1965 Voting Rights Act? They're doing it a little more sophisticated, but they're doing that. The Supreme Court is overturning the Voting Rights Act.
To be really clear, your view is the MAGA Republicans are explicitly racist and want to turn the country back towards a time that approaches Jim Crow, if not achieving it.
I don't know that I would call all MAGA Republicans that. I'm very circumspect about using the term. They are racist. I don't put that label on any one person, but I know what the word means. It's sitting there in the dictionary for anybody to understand it. They are white supremacists, and there are people who are supporters of this president who admit to me that they are white supremacists. I've had people who support this president tell me that they thought that slavery was a good thing. And really, for us to deny that this exists, I don't know why we would do that.
You've had people tell you who support this president that they thought slavery was a good thing.
Absolutely. Right to my teeth.
Constituents?
Absolutely. In my congressional district.
What's that like?
Sometimes I keep things to myself.
Hey, and once again, that Jake's name is Jim what's that? Jim Clyburn? Yeah, Jim Clyburn. In other words, Jacob Clyburn. Because as we all know, James is another is synonymous with what? Jacob, right? I just want to make that clear, okay? So Jim, Jake, I just want to throw that little nugget in there because it's very evident of what's going on, man. Okay, like he said, and things are being allowed only through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Okay, people feel the tension, and also antebellum means before the war, and we see what's happening. We see what's happening. You got the whole the government agencies, now trying to issue knock door to door, knock knock, who's there, are you legal type shit. It's never been, it's always been, measures E takes too far, but snatching people's kids out of school, waiting for Latin tribe, the Northern Kingdom tribes kids for school, like, bro, it's extreme. But hey, guess what? Yahweh Bashem Yahshua is extreme. Okay, it's only for prophecy's sake. Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 19 verse 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Okay, make no mistake, bro. Everything that's happening, he thinks it's only this place is gonna prosper, or you bootlicking niggas, I may say, who's like, yeah, Trump, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's going against a lot of his like so-called promises that was made. But come on, bro. They come out of the womb what? Speaking lies, right? Okay, and matter of fact, let me get that right quick. Now, I will say he's been proactive. What he said he was gonna do, but he went back on a lot of things, man. He went back on a lot of things he said he was gonna do and didn't deliver, and then a lot of things he said he was gonna do, he did deliver, But hey, that's E, okay? This is Psalms chapter 53 verse Salakia. This is Psalms chapter 58 verse 3. Salakia for that. Verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Okay? So this is nothing new for the so-called white man. Okay? But Jake made a very good point. They're gonna ride the fine line. They're gonna ride the fine line. Like you said, it's only so much they can do, but try to basically trying to put lipstick on a pig. As Elder Yatazak always says, man. They E moves in a way, because of this so-called great nation, which is one of the greatest nations, but it's through what? Through a lot of debauchery, bro. It's just a lot of BS, man. And a lot of people have waken up, man. Okay, a lot of people have woken up to the wickedness of this place and who's in rule, man. Okay, point blank, period. This is back in Isaiah chapter 19, bear me Baba Kushah. I'll start at verse 1 again. The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Okay. Verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Okay. So we see what's happening. That's why I made mention of antebellum. Well, antebellum was also mentioned, like it says, before the war. So you're looking at now what, somewhat more of a civil war. A lot of people are torn, between these parties, Democratic and Republican. Then it's in-house fighting on the Republican side, with the whole people who were, voted for Trump, a lot of things that are going on. A lot of the Latin tribes, feel like it's a smack in the face. Then a lot of Edomites who believed, in Trump feel like it's a smack in the face because no one's benefiting. No one's benefiting, but the writing is on the wall. We see what's happening. Because make no mistake, some Southern, some Jake are getting messed with. Like that Jake, I think that was Minneapolis, because they've been, that's been one of the states they've been rocking with heavy, since, interestingly enough, since what? Since George Floyd, right? In Minneapolis. So you've had they had a warrant, I believe, for that Jake had him in a room with 40 other people. A matter of fact, bear with me, Baba Kushah. Let me get his name. I forgot what tribe he was from. Let me see. Man, and it's been happening at such a rapid rate. A lot of different people are showing up. Of course, Southern Kingdom, but it was so like of course, Northern Kingdom, but it's been Southern Kingdom that's been taken as well. Y'all could bear me, Balkashah. What's Jake's name, man? I can't find the particular Jake. But hey, look at what they did in Chicago when they woke Jake up like in 3 a.m. and they did all that, man, separating the kids from the moms. And this was the Southern Kingdom, right? He was dispatched, to places they never like really interact. But a lot of the Latin tribes, the northern tribes, were mingled amongst who? Amongst the southern tribes. So we know what type of time E is on, man. And so that was a good little interview. I haven't seen the full interview, but that excerpt did pop up. But we're seeing it in real time. We're seeing a lot of this stuff in real time. Is some of it staged? It may very well be. Is some of it real? Of course, because they're set. Like I said, they're always setting the stage for more and more. Okay, and more so, the Most High setting the stage for prophecy's sake. Okay, this is verse 3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. Okay? So, So the Lord is not playing, bro. The Lord is destroying this place, man. Okay. Verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh, the Lord, Yahweh of hosts. And that's, hey, who's a cruel Lord? Who's a fierce king? That's Trump. Okay. So we're seeing what's going on, man. Once again, in real time, this is no, no make believe. The Lord is moving, and I really should have. I should have stayed. I should have stayed in Isaiah, because I was coming right here. Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Okay, so destruction is coming to these, unrighteous decrees that's coming forth, from the Congress and this wicked society, man. Whoa. Okay, that's destruction, right? Verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless, right? Because E sees the tribes as what? As the lesser, right? Broken homes, no policy in place really to protect Jake, man. There's no policy in place to really protect Jake. And when they do have a policy, what do? They overturn it, like Jake was making mention of, right? Like the Supreme Court has the power to do, with civil rights acts being overturned, and just other policies that's being overturned since administration. And guess what? And I want to make this very clear. America's never been great for Jake, bro. Okay? It's just been a lot of pandering, man. It's just been a lot of pandering and temporary bandages, man, for the nation of Yasharallah, man. America's never been great for Jake. Like we always say, it was a time, like, man, food was better. People had their head more on the swivel. But, hey, that was all by design, man, to destroy, these people, man. A lot of people have lost their wits about themselves, man. Everybody's very accepting of any and everything now, a lot of people are just lost in the sauce. But at the same time, what's beautiful, a lot of people waking up to, like, damn, you seeing people, bro, who believed in this place, like, man, this is over, man. And a lot of people know the economic collapse is coming, and World War III is on the rise. It's already begun. Make no mistake. Okay, and civil war is becoming more evident. That's why I brought out Isaiah 19 and verse 1, right? If y'all could bear with me, Baba Kusha, let me get if they're good. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Okay? The angels are what? Rejoicing. Men of the Lord are rejoicing. We see what time it is, okay? Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Okay, look how they're moving with the whole open carry thing, Well, Salaki, pretty much the Second Amendment. The guy said Preddy, I believe, who was just killed. You had Renee Good, and then you had Preddy, right? Which I believe, neither of them was Jake. They appeared to be what you would know as white Americans, right? I believe leftists, liberals. They were both gunned down, in broad daylight, by the way. So this wasn't done in secret. This was for the world to see. Just like it was, made for the world to see with who? With Eric Garner when he got choked out. And then other camera footage, it's just so many, it's so many Jake and got the business, and it's just it's a very, very interesting time to be alive, but a very beautiful time to be alive, because everything that the Lord said that's going to happen is happening right before our eyes, in our time, but that's all I have on this. And I brought this out. This is edifying for the body. So once again, with that, call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Wahara Kakodash Brakathum. Once again, I'd like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations to the select number of Akian pushing this truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth, and salutations to the select number of Aquatata listening. Shalom.